Hello everybody, my name is Mike Tomorrow and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's topic, for this episode anyways, is going to be about jumping into conclusions. You probably heard that term, jumping into conclusions, which means you jump right into a conclusion without thinking about it, or rushing right into it without even thinking about it that much. Yeah, that jumping into conclusions is what we're talking about for today. People do it all the time. They don't think fully enough and they just go to an answer right away. They don't take the time to think about something. And that's the topic of this episode. Because I feel as an Aspie, sometimes I do jump into conclusions when making decisions without thinking about it first, or thinking about it fully first. Aspies, I don't know if this happened to you, but I know it does happen to me. That we want to do something and then we don't think about what could happen to us, Or like, if we want to plan a trip and what could happen to us, Like, for example, we had our family gathering Thanksgiving in Key West, and I was going to drive the next day. We had that whole week off, let's say. And I was going to drive the Sunday before Thanksgiving all the way down to Key West. And then I'm thinking to myself, why do I want to drive the 7 hours to get from Davenport to Key West in one day? So I was thinking, why don't I drive and spend the night someplace? Jumping into conclusions meaning, did I think about where I was going to spend the night? No, I did not think about where I was going to spend the night. Or I was thinking, okay, we'll stop at a hotel on our way down. Thinking, I don't know how much the rooms are going to cost to spend the night. Well, of course, that happened to me because I ended up paying like $80 for the room for that night. In Fort Lauderdale. But I know that was an example, but it comes with good reasons too, because I was able to have lunch with one of my friends that I used to do the Disney college program with. So basically that was a good result of me jumping into conclusions with the decision I made about driving the night before. It's stopping in Fort Lauderdale to spend the night. So anyways, I've had other decisions that I had to base on, and I felt I've jumped the conclusion on as well. Like, for example, I got DirecTV 2 years ago. I signed up for DirecTV so I could have TV service. And then my parents were freaking out. Why did I get DirecTV when I had the cable at the campground? Well, they probably think I was jumping to the conclusion of that too, because I was not thinking, how am I going to pay for the DirecTV? But it all worked out. And the reason why I got the DirecTV for my camper is because the cable system that they had only had like 20 channels on it, and my thinking is I can bring the DirecTV anywhere with me. So like, if I have to move out of here, if I basically have to move out of here, my camper's coming with me, and that means I can take my DirecTV with me, so that the next place I go, if I live there, I can have the DirecTV with me. It's like making a long-term commitment with like DirecTV. But you have to have it for 2 years at least. You have to be on a contract with them for 2 years, and it's like, my parents thought I was jumping to the conclusion. They were getting freaked out. Did I get the DirecTV? They're wondering, why did I get it? But basically, I calmed them down. And, and my dad was thinking, why couldn't I get the digital cable from the cable company instead of getting the DirecTV? And basically, it's because the campground would probably not let me get the digital cable, and I was probably going to have to get the satellite. So basically, hey. And it worked out fine. 2 years later, I'm almost done with their contract, and I'm probably going to keep them longer than the 2 years. But now, once the contract's over, I don't have to depend on a contract anymore. I'll just keep their service. If I upgrade, then I would have to get through. And then I would have to get another 2-year contract. But I mean, it all worked out in the end, because at the beginning of this past month, the campground removed the cable. I mean, it all worked out at the end. So basically, I had my satellite, and I was going to have to keep it anyways. Right now, I'm going to have to keep it because of the fact that the campground got rid of the cable. But anyways, let's get back on the topic here. Jumping into conclusions. I have made several decisions in my life, and basically some of the decisions I made, I was jumping into conclusions. And without thinking of them first. I know it happens to everybody. I know it happens to Aspies. It's like, it's hard not to jump over conclusions, but everybody does it. And then, let me give you guys another example. For example, I don't know if I told you this, but I'm being transferred into a new job with Disney. So basically, I have to be trained in all the other stuff. And when I got my schedule for that, they had me scheduled on a Sunday. And I remember correctly, I'm not available on Sundays because I go to church. I praise the Lord on Sundays. Yeah. So basically, I saw that, and I was jumping into. I saw that they scheduled me on Sundays when I said I was not available on Sundays. So basically, I was jumping into conclusions, figuring, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Why am I going to miss church? I don't want to miss church. No. So basically, what I did was I calmed down. On the Monday, when I got the schedule, or basically it was a Monday when I got the schedule, yeah, and I was scheduled on a Sunday, and I was freaking out. So when I was on my break, okay, I'll call them and tell them, hey, I cannot work this Sunday because I go to church. They'll understand. They understood. And I was like, okay, they'll reschedule me, and that's fine, But don't let your tensions get in the way. That's what causes people to jump into conclusions and freak out about things. Don't let it happen. Just be calm when things happen. Don't be like, oh, we see this and we're upset, so we're jumping into conclusions. Don't let it happen to you. People do it all the time. And I know it's hard to think about that, but, you got to calm down. You cannot always jump into conclusions. It's hard to think about that. Yeah, but, jumping into conclusions is something that we all face in our lives. And Jumping into conclusions is not that fun. You know? I don't like jumping into conclusions. But if I see something I don't like, I'll try to cool my temper. I know it's hard all the time. But if we figure it out and take our time to know what's going to happen, then we'll be okay. You know? Jumping into conclusions is not fun. Alright? I know that's basically the only way out of something. When you don't like something, you jump into conclusions and like, okay. You need to think about your decisions first. I don't care if it's for a satellite TV. I don't care if it's for a cell phone. I don't care if it's for a car. You need to think about it before you decide the conclusion of something, okay? You can't always, oh, I have to get a new cell phone because this one broke or something. Or you cannot always freak out, you know? Take the time. You know, I know, like job searching. You can't always jump into conclusions with finding a job. You got to look hard. I know the government is going through a rough time right now. And the economy is going through a rough time right now. But understand this. You got to calm down. Because the right job will be there for you. Don't just jump into conclusions. Or let's say you want to try to find a girlfriend. You know there's all kinds of dating websites out there. eHarmony, OkCupid, and all that. But you gotta meet the right girl first. You gotta get to know her first. Don't ask her to be your girlfriend right away. You know, it's hard for me to, let's say, it's hard for me to comprehend when I try to find the right girl. You know, it's been hard because I don't know what to say to her. You know, I've been single for a long time now. I'm trying to find a girlfriend so I can, hopefully someday she'll be my wife and she'll be the mother of my children, right? But that takes time. Don't jump into conclusions. Like, okay, you see the girl. Like, don't date the first girl that you see. Don't rush. Don't make her your girlfriend right away. You gotta get to know her first. You know? That's why I'm probably pretty lucky the way I am. Because I want to get to know somebody before I decide to date them. You know? Or marry them. Or I want to spend the rest of my life with them. You know, that's going to take a little bit longer. But at the same time, it's going to be rewarding. Because you will have the support of your partner. Okay? Do not rush into trying to find a girlfriend. Do not rush into a relationship. You cannot do that. You know? Because eventually, if you get rushed in, you're going to get rushed out. No, you're going to lose your girlfriend or lose your wife if you rush into things. Don't rush into it. I know it's hard for me to say that, but don't rush into conclusions. You know? I know it's hard. I know everybody does it. They cannot rush into the conclusions. It's, you know? Just like the job situation too. You gotta find the right job. I know that the economy's bad. Yeah, but, you know? Just be happy for the job that you have, or just be happy for the job you're gonna have. Because I know the dream job's not easily available right now. But someday it can be. Just keep up the hard work that you do. Like my dream job is to get a job with autism speaks, or a job that I can have a career with that I can help people with autism, right? Now, I've been working my heart out at all the walks I go to. I go to almost every single walk in the state of Florida, and I'm hoping to go to more walks next year, in 2013. But I know I'm working hard. At the same time, I feel I'm not working hard. Am I not working hard enough to get a position with them? Don't rush into conclusions that, hey, this is the perfect organization for me to get a job with. Because, you gotta learn about them before you can get a job with them, Like, I'm working hard enough with Autism Speaks, but at the same time, they feel and I feel it's not the right time for me to get a job with them. Eventually, that's going to change. Because they're going to see that I've done all this hard work and all this commitment, and I feel that someday, hey, I will have a job with Autism Speaks, and I will have a good career, and I will survive it, Don't rush into things. I know it's hard, but don't rush into it. Don't rush into a job. Don't rush into life. Let life take the easy course for you. Let life decide where you're going. Let God decide what's going to happen for you. Don't rush into things, I know everybody wants you to rush into things. Just don't do it, Let me give you that advice to end this, alright? I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something. And don't rush into decisions. Think about it before you decide. Alright? Talk to you all later.